Landing that perfect job. It's not just about getting paid more. We've got some other things to consider. We have interview coach Lorenzo, who's working with different corporations on hiring. He's here with some advice. So first off, thank you for joining us again. I always get nervous about interviews. Not about our interview, of course, but interviews with different companies. So when I get that job offer initially, of course I want to say yes. So why should I say yes initially?
Well, there are many factors that come into, such as, here in Kansas City, we've had a bad winter. So maybe your consideration should be the distance from home to the job. Other considerations can be some of the perks, such as medical benefits, whether or not you have a company car, and car expenses. It can also be whether or not you have a connection with the boss, the atmosphere workplace. So I'm going to throw it back on you. Why did you say yes to this job?
Why did I? Because I wanted to be on TV.
Okay, there you go. As simple as that.
Well, no, so I mean, this is my hometown. I grew up in Kansas City, and then when the offer was extended
didn't you
again.
grow up in Kansas City, Kansas?
I did grow up in Kansas City, Kansas, yes. So again, but still being able to come on and be on my hometown, television station, I was like, of course I want to do this. So that was why I initially said yes. Of course, there was some back and forth beforehand, but that's aside the point. We'll talk about that later. So this is a question that I have. It seems like older generations, like my grandparents, they had that one job and they stuck with it. They got the stipend at the end, they got the pension and everything, and that's kind of fading away. Should we always keep? And now, people my generation are every 5 years you're moving around, especially in this profession. You're always moving around. But should we always keep looking for a job depending on what career field we're in?
Absolutely. I think it is a huge mistake. Just because you're comfortable in that job, in this position with that company, it doesn't mean that the company isn't going to sell out. The company philosophy may change, which does not jive with what you are initially accepted. I think it's great that you were able to come here, but you did not. You were on the weather part first, right? Or the traffic, and then you accepted this too?
Well, I was offered both, but...
you were?
Yes. I reported for Better Kansas City since I started here.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, I've had an incredible position here. So, but we need to talk more about, not about me, we need to talk about you. So what else besides pay should we be considering as a top factor when, because I mean, obviously salary is paramount, I think, a lot of the times when it comes to a new position.
Yes. Now we have to remember, going back to the question that you asked before, why should you keep looking? Or why should you not close your mind out? Because a lot of manufacturing jobs are going to robotics. Did you know that? And that is becoming huge very, very quickly. So if you're comfortable in that environment, it may be gone tomorrow. It may be eliminated. So that's why I say reinvent yourself and advance yourself. Get other skills. Maybe even go back to college. But always come to the point of interest.
And never be satisfied, I think, kind of going back to what you said before. Always be looking for something more. And maybe when you accept that new offer, make sure you don't burn your bridges on the way out of the first spot, right?
Yes. That is one of my philosophies. Please do not burn your bridges, because you may have to come back into that situation, or they may call you back and say, listen, we really need you. And that happens all the time.
And then one final question. When is it okay to say no to that job offer, or when do you counteroffer with different salary, desires or anything like that? Just some final tips here on that last.
Okay, when to counteroffer. If you are a specialist in your field, and you know that there are just very few of you, and maybe you are the only one that they're considering for this position because you're the only one qualified.
Then you have that leverage.
Then you have that leverage. Otherwise, sometimes they are set and you do not have the leverage. Now, when to say no to the job? When it doesn't feel right, when your interests are not there, when the company or the office, the workplace atmosphere doesn't feel productive. Also, you want to consider in other things such as, is there any travel involved? Do I like to travel? You may not like to travel, so why accept that? So there's so many other factors.
All right, keep your mind open, keep focused, stay hungry, and never be satisfied. Lorenzo, thank you for your time today. We do appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, Bill.